Welcome back to the channel. I am the Sunday Pilot and welcome to the fourth episode, or is it the fourth sector? Probably both, on our round the world low cost challenge here in Prepared 3D version 4.5. The challenge that I've set myself is to circumnavigate the planet in the simulator, only flying low cost airlines using real world schedules from June 2022. So here we are in Mumbai, India, where we arrived in the last video on board the Aerosoft Airbus A320 in the livery of Indigo India. So if you've not watched that video, it was the last one published here on the channel where we flew in from Dubai in the UAE. So in this flight, we're starting at just after 1 AM in the morning. Yes, this is a ridiculous overnight flight between Mumbai and Phuket on board the GoFirst India Airbus A320. Of course, the Airbus A320 seems to be the go-to narrow-body aircraft for many low-cost airlines throughout the world, and today is no different. However, you may be asking, why are we in a GoAir livery? Airbus A320, well, GoFirst used to be branded as GoAir India, and to be completely honest with you, I couldn't find GoFirst livery for the Aerosoft Airbus A320. However, the GoFirst call sign is still GoAir, and that is what we're using on this flight across to Phuket in Thailand in the fourth sector of this round the world challenge. Jumping right into sim brief, we're going to be departing Mumbai on runway 14 at 1:15 in the morning for a flight scheduled to take just over 4 hours between Mumbai and Phuket. So this is going to be a pretty straightforward departure, heading southeast across India before crossing the Indian Ocean at the Bay of Bengal and then arriving in Phuket just after 7 AM. So I'm expecting a pretty good sunrise on this flight eastbound to Thailand. And of course, landing in Phuket on runway 27 is always a joy. The Andaman Sea coastline is simply one of the most gorgeous places on the planet, and a place that I last visited in 1998, so it's been quite a while since I was in Phuket. And the real world flight I took to Phuket will be the focus of the next video on the channel, which is going to be one of our Sim Sunday extras flown by the real Airbus pilot in X-Plane. Okay, back in the cockpit, it's time to get this flight to Phuket underway.
765 cleared Munich Airport is filed. Stanza 765, taxi holding point 3, runway 15. GoAir 21 is cleared to Phuket Airport is filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain altitude 13,000. Departure frequency is 127.9 clock 3324.
Hello Captain, we are ready for pushback. Locking gear. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will. Road track disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
Taxi, hold short runway 14 via taxiway, runway 14, GoAir 21. Runway heading, climb and maintain altitude 7,000.
Because it is just after 1:15 AM, it is pitch black outside, and therefore it's going to be very hard to show you the scenery that I've installed here for Mumbai in India. As I described in the previous video, as we approached Mumbai on board the Indigo Airbus A320, this scenery is from Stinn Pacific, or is it Stein Pacific? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, I purchased it from Sim Market back in 2019 for €14, and the quality isn't great, but at the end of the day, it's much better than than the stock scenery you're going to get in prepared 3D. After all, the airports in this sim were originally developed for FSX more than a decade ago. Right, back to today's stupid o'clock flight between Mumbai and Phuket in Thailand. I think the ground controllers have given us the scenic route to the runway this morning, as we seem to be weaving our way around every taxiway as we make our way to the departure point on runway 14.
GoAir 2-1 flying up and wait, runway 14. Line up and wait, GoAir 2-1, wait 14, approach. I-562 Mumbai Tower, continue approach, runway 14, altimeter 2974. Bangkok Air 734, contact Mumbai departure on 127.9er, 1 at tree. Clear for takeoff, runway 14, GoAir 2-1. I-582 Mumbai Tower, continue runway 14, altimeter 2974.
14.
Continue approach, runway 14, I-582.
Passing 10,000 feet, it's time to switch off the landing lights and of course the fasten seatbelt signs, as we allow this Airbus A320 to climb to its initial cruising altitude in full manage mode. It was approximately 90 minutes into the flight while talking to Hyderabad ATC when we had burned off enough fuel, enabling us to climb to flight level 350 or 35,000 feet. As you can hear, we were talking to Kuala Lumpur Control in Malaysia when we started our initial descent for Phuket. As I said at the beginning of this video, we were going to be landing in runway 27 at Phuket. That meant we would be making an initial approach to the north of the airfield on this Thai island, before making a number of right-hand turns onto final. As I also said at the beginning of this video, my first and last visit to Phuket in the real world was back in 1998, when I flew into Phuket from the old Bangkok airport on board a Thai International Airbus A310. And that flight is going to be recreated in X-Plane on the next video by the real Airbus pilot in another one of our Sim Sunday extra episodes. So you know what to do if you want to watch that video and continue to follow my journey around the world in low-cost airlines. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified of our next video as it's published. Right, back to this episode as we make our initial approach into Phuket. It is time to tell you about the scenery you're going to see when we arrive. For Phuket International Airport, I've got a Sceneries Phuket for FSX and Prepared installed here in Prepared 3D version 4.5. I purchased it from SimMarket back in December 2020, and at the time of recording this video in early February 2022, it is still the latest version.
Approaching 27.
$500. 400. 100 above. 300. Minimum 100. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
Welcome to the beautiful island of Phuket in Thailand, which brings us to the end of the 4th sector in our round the world low cost challenge. Next up will be our shortest flight during the 5th sector on this round the world low cost challenge, but I do promise you that will be the last Airbus for a few sectors. Of course, between now and the 5th sector we're going to have a Sim Sunday extra video with the real Airbus pilot flying to this very airport in Phuket on board what he tells me is the awesome Anybuilds Airbus A310 for X-Plane. Back to the end of the 4th 4th sector, and this flight you can see I'm using the GSX Follow Me service to get us between the runway and the gate. And that means we've come to the end of another episode here on Sim Sunday. Remember, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you wish to continue to follow myself and the real Airbus pilot as we recreate real world flights in our home flight simulators. Thank you so much for watching, and wherever you're flying in your virtual world, don't forget to fly safe.